Got a deal to get an evac and fucked over Emily.
Stayed on the island with us. He lived longer.
Stop them. They're coming. It's coming.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
We need to find out what happened to the team that went to try to repair the main shade node. The federal shelter should be beneath your current position. Find a way down there, but proceed with caution.
You'll pay for what you did. Hell. It's over.
What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be my rifle DPS meta build. This Baker's Dozen is just, it hits too hard not to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay. That was from all of the solo queues and matchmaking I did for the league. The new West Side League that just started. I went ahead and did Challenging Potomac, DCD, and Federal Emergency Bunker and showed you guys some clips of that. This thing is just insane. It's the challenging enemies. On Heroics, it does the same. Legendaries, it's a little bit different, but we all know Legendaries are a little bit harder. But this thing is just too good to ignore. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and hit that disclaimer. Yes, they did say that nerfs are coming to rifles, but it is for PvP only, not for PvE. Everything I just showed you guys was PvE, and even the build I'm using you could use for PvE. PvP is a whole nother story. You know, the time to kill is so fast, all of that. They're really doing a lot of changes to PvP. So for the meanwhile, I'm just going to show you guys this for the PvE aspects, especially with the league that just started. That is completely PvE oriented, and this is the build I use to do those speed runs. Without further ado, shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. I am Kamikazevondoom. If you guys enjoy this in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you are new to the channel and you do have a question, comment, concern, whatever, leave them in the comment section below. And if you do subscribe, just make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get notified each and every time I bring you another Division 2 video. But alright, chit chat about that. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm using the Baker's Dozen with the Glory Days as my secondary and the backup boomstick as my sidearm. Starting off with the specialization, I use the gunner specialization. Reason being is when you use perfect glass cannon, your sustainability is not that great. You do get that 60% extra damage from those enemies, so it is hard to keep your armor up. However, if you use the gunner specialization armor kit, it gives you that 50% bonus armor on top of your armor, and it helps you out in those sticky situations. Also, with the gunner specialization, you do get armor on kill and that riot foam grenade, which does help if you time it just right in their spawn. Moving down to the weapons, Baker's Dozen for my primary, Glory Days as my secondary, and the backup boomstick as my sidearm. For the Baker's Dozen, I have 632k base damage. For the Glory Days, I'm at 114.9k base damage. And for the backup boomstick, I am at 1.3 million base damage. Starting off with the boomstick. Or not the boomstick, my bad. The Baker's Dozen. So the Baker's Dozen is the named classic M1A rifle. This one, let me switch. Let's see. There you go. Base damage 235.1k. That is with 15% rifle damage, 17% critical hit damage, and 24% optimal range. With it being the Baker's Dozen, it does have a perfect talent. This one, perfect lucky shot. My magazine capacity is increased by 30%, and all missed shots from cover have a 100% chance to return to my magazine. Really does help out. This one I did get lucky and I got a god rolled. I didn't have to recalibrate anything on this, it just came the way it is. Pretty nice. As far as the mods are concerned, I used crit damage mods and a tightly packed marksman magazine. For the magazine, I use that for the extra 5 rounds, and for the 2 crit damage, I'll talk to you about that in a second. Now, moving to the secondary. Secondary is the Glory Days. I have 15% AR damage, 6.5% health damage, and 10% damage to targets out of cover. This one comes with perfect nearsighted, and I receive 100% stability at the cost of 35% optimal range. Not too shabby. For the mods, crit damage, and crit damage. I'll tell you guys why here in a second. Now going off through the build, I have 679.8k armor and 272.9k health. Starting off with the mask, I am using the Coyote's Exotic Mask. This one came with maxed out weapon damage, 5.5 crit chance, 11.1 crit damage, and 10.6 damage from a mod. Now, the reason why I'm using crit damage is because of this talent. It's called Pack Instincts. You and your allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. Not kill, just hit. Now, 0 to 15 meters, so you're up close to them, you get 25% crit damage. 15 to 25 meters, about mid-range, you get 10 crit damage and 10 crit chance. But For what we usually use it for is for those longer distances, that 25 meters plus, and we get 25% crit chance out of it. Really nice. Going to the backpack. It's the Grupo Sombra backpack. This is a new brand set that came in year 2, and from the brand set bonus out of this build, I get 15% crit damage. For the core attribute, I rolled on there 15% weapon damage, and for the normal attributes, it came with weapon handling at 11.5 and crit chance at 4.7. Comes with a yellow mod, so I threw on there 10.4 skill haste. Now this one came with the talent Companion. While you are within 5 meters of an ally or skill, your total weapon damage is increased by 15%. So that is what bumps up my base damage up to that 632. Going to the gloves, Seska gloves. The Seska is a new brand set that came out in year 2, and with this build, the brand set bonus I get is 10% crit chance. For the core attribute, it has 15% weapon damage, and for the normal attributes, it has 9.5 hazard protection, and then I rolled on there 6% crit chance. Going to the knee pads, Fox's Prayer knee pads. It is your named Overlord armament knee pads. With it being Overlord armament, you get 10% rifle damage from the brand set bonus. Core attribute, I rolled on there 15% weapon damage, and for the normal attributes, it comes with 15% damage to targets out of cover, and I also got 10.5% weapon handling. Going to the holster, Providence Defense holster. For the Providence Defense brand set bonuses, I get 10% headshot damage and 10% crit chance. As far as the core attribute, I rolled on there 15% weapon damage, and it came with 4.3 skill damage and 6% crit chance. And finally, the chest piece. This is the Sacrifice chest piece. It is your new named Providence Defense vest. Now, I already went over the brand set bonuses. Core attribute, I rolled on there 15% weapon damage. For the normal attributes, I got 7.7 skill haste, 8.3 crit damage, and then I put a red mod on there for 10.9 crit damage. With it being the Sacrifice, it comes with that perfect talent, perfect glass cannon. All damage you deal is amplified by 30%. All damage you take is amplified by 60%. So it's a really fine line with give and take there. You do deal a lot more damage, and it is very noticeable, but you do take a lot of damage. Pretty squishy. Alright, now you can see my base damage drop to 549, and I'll show you how I get it up to that 632. Fairly easy. Now for the armor, I am at 679.8k, and for the health, I am at 272.9k. For the skills, I use the Reviver Hive and the Defender Drone. Reason why I'm using these two is because right now I'm doing those speed runs on challenging and heroic, so we're just trying to get through them as quick as possible. Nothing too crazy. I'll show you how I get my base damage up, and then I'll go through the stat sheet with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay and the build. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, support the channel and hit that subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell. Now, sitting here in the firing range, it's pretty simple. All I do is pop my Defender Drone, and now I am back at 632k base damage. Reason being is my Companion. Remember, Companion gives you 15% weapon damage. So having Companion active, I am at 632k base damage. Let's see. I'll hit like a couple targets, show you the stat sheet, and then get out of here. I know this is becoming a pretty long video. Alright, Invulnerable Elite. Let's see. Let's just say 20 meters. So based off of the mask, 20 meters, I am going to get 10% crit damage, and 10% crit chance. Going through my stat sheet, I have 632,005 weapon damage. In PvP, that equates to 362,716. I have 42.2 crit chance and 107.9 crit damage. I have purposely lowered my crit chance because of the mask. Remember, the mask stays active. The last enemy you hit, that's the buff you get. So if I shoot the enemy way over here, see, now I have that little blue box underneath my ammo. That is my proc. So now I'm back to max crit chance. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. But this one's only 20 meters in front of me, so this one's going to lower my crit chance but up my crit damage. I am not using a headshot scope, but even with headshots, let's see, 2.2 million. And that's not even trying. This is with no headshot damage, 2.3. I mean, it's pretty easy. Now, finishing out with the stat sheet, and let's get out of here. Already went through that, so I do have 107.9 crit damage, and then it just goes up from there. Going to the offensive tab, I have 93.8 all weapons damage and 40% rifle damage. So I have 133.8 total damage bonus. That's pretty wicked. Add that with the companion and the perfect glass cannon, obviously your exotic mask, and you have a great build. These procs from the exotic mask go to the rest of your team, so it's very, very nice to have it. Now in my defensive tab, I've already gone over the armor, but I do have 67,981 armor on kill. Not a lot, but it does help out. Going down to the hazard protection, I'm at 10.3%. But alright, you guys, that is all she wrote. Here is my Baker's Dozen and Glory Days build. Perfect glass cannon and companion. Very fun to use. Hope you guys enjoy it. Like always, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.